Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. The time lapse you just saw, I'm filming it right now. So this is basically me speaking from the past, but you get the idea. As soon as the time lapse is done and the sun went down, I'm going to film an episode, and that means I will shoot at night. And the camera of choice for today will be this one here, the Fuji X-E4, with a lens that is really nice. It's the Voigtländer 35 1.2. And as you probably might know, I'm not a fan of the 50mm focal length, and here on a crop camera 35. So, but it's a nice lens and it opens up to f1.2, so it's perfect for nighttime shooting. And I did an episode with that setup already, so maybe you have seen it. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. And there's plenty of people out, so fingers crossed there will be some cool shots coming. All right guys, without further ado, Puerto Vallarta, X-E4, let's go. Alright, so far so good. Puerto Vallarta is very touristy, which is good and bad. It's good because there's a lot of people, as you can see in the video. On the other hand, they are all tourists, so they're all doing the touristy things, and there's all these tourist scams and whatnot, so that's one downside, but I much rather have this than no people at all, so let's continue. If you want to learn from me in person, you can join me for one of my street photography workshops. You will find more information about that and more future dates on my website. The link is in the video description. Alright guys, so far so good. Shooting street at night is always not the easiest task, but especially if you shoot a lens that or a focal length that you're not so comfortable with. But I get there. I try my best. About the settings that I'm using, I'm shooting at 1/25th right now. 1/25th right now, and the aperture is of course wide open, f1.2, and ISO is set auto. That's pretty much it. And for focusing, I'm using focus peaking. That's the only focusing aid that I need. This works pretty well, even though the viewfinder in this camera is not the best and it's not very high res, so sometimes it's hard to guess if it's in focus or not. But so yeah, I mean, that's all I can say about the settings. I wish I could use zone focusing like in the daytime, but yes, unfortunately you need the largest aperture here, otherwise it's just too dark. All right, let's keep on hustling and let's find some more good shots.
¿Tienes flash de casualidad?
Sorry?
Do you have a flash by chance?
A flash? No.
No? Do you have a light?
Maybe. It's possible. When she asked me if I have a flash or a light, I had no idea that would dramatically change my plan for that evening. It turned out that she is a local photographer and she was waiting for her clients for an engagement shooting. However, they were 2 hours late and suddenly it was pitch black dark and she didn't bring anything. Well, she got lucky because for some reason I had an LED light in my camera bag, which I usually never bring. Of course, I helped her out in the next 30 minutes or so as her assistant holding the light. She told them that she had just met me and I saved the shoot with my LED light. They were super happy about it and we shot a little bit more, and of course I couldn't resist and I also took a few shots. My mindset quickly shifted from a street photographer to a wedding photographer. Eventually it was time to get back to street photography. Alright, short break from shooting. I think I would have been better off by using the Q2 monochrome for shooting because autofocus helps quite a bit. So maybe the Fuji with an autofocus lens might have been better, but because it's really hard to figure out if it's in focus or not, and maybe this split second might make the difference if you get the shot or not. So don't want to complain because it was my choice to use the X-E4 and the Voigtländer. But I think next time here in Mexico I'm shooting a video at night, I'll probably use the Q2 monochrome again because I simply love the focal length and I love the camera. And also when I just mentioned the focal length, the thing is I already know my framing. When I approach a scene with this one, I'm not quite sure, so sometimes I'm too close and the things I want to be in the frame are not all in there. But that's something you get used to if you use a specific focal length over time and time again. But I only occasionally use 50mm. For portraits I use it more, but not so much for shooting street. So, all right, enough talking, let's continue shooting. In case you want to see the photos again and also the EXIF data, I'll leave a link to the blog post in the video description. Alright guys, that's it. That's today's episode. I had good fun, even though, as I mentioned before, it's not my preferred focal length. But there's one thing that is really bothering me about the camera, and that is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's the exposure compensation. Come on, focus. Yeah, you know what this looks like. But because there's no hard stops, I don't know if this is true for all the current Fuji cameras, but there's no hard stops, and it's really bothering me because you can turn forever and you never know where you are. And the exposure, sometimes it's not changing and you know what the hell is going on. Yeah, so I think that's not ideal and I wish there would be hard stops, but yeah, it's probably no way to get this with a firmware update, but maybe if they bring out the new one in a couple of years, maybe they can fix that, or I don't know, maybe it's just me. Okay guys, if you want to support the channel, you know what to do. Smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and pick up one of my street photography zines. That helps me out greatly to make more videos like this in the future. As always guys, see you on the next one. Until then, auf Wiedersehen.